This is homework help for the work and power problems, otherwise known as the Rainstorm worksheet. Helpful equations that we want to remember are work equals force times distance. Remember, force and distance have to be parallel to each other for work to be done. We also probably want to remember that the force of gravity or weight is equals to mass times the acceleration due to gravity, which is 9.8 on the Earth. And then last but not least, helpful to know is power is equal to work over time. Okay, so we're going to look at number 1 first. We're going to follow our usual plan where we write out our givens first. So we see that a student lifts a box of books that weighs 185 newtons. So we have a force of lifting equal to 185 newtons. The box is lifted 0.8 meters, so we have a distance that is also vertical, and that is 0.800 meters. Question is, how much work does the student do? So first, we need to evaluate, did the student do work? The answer is yes, and that's because the force and distance were both vertical. The equation for work is force times distance. So we're going to do 185 newtons times 0.8 meters, and we get an answer of a positive 148 joules. The reason it's positive is that both the work, or the force and the distance, were in the same direction. And then we're going to do number 2 as well. It's a power problem. So first, it tells the electric motor lifts an elevator that weighs 1.2 times 10 to the 4th newtons. So we've got 1.2 times 10 to the 4th newtons of force. We have a distance of 9 meters, and we have a time of 15.0 seconds. I forgot to write the elevator's lifting, so that weight is equal to the upward force. The distance is also a height, so it's upward. So, is work done? Yes. Again, we've got both vertical force and distance. Okay, so our basic formula is work over time equals power. Work, of course, is force times distance. And so we're going to kind of split that up. So we have 1.20 times 10 to the 4th times 9 meters over a total of 15 seconds. And so first step is to multiply the 1.2 times 10 to the 4th times 9. And you're going to divide that answer by 15. And you should get 7.20 times 10 to the 3rd watts. The second question is asking you to convert to kilowatts. So when you do that, you're going to divide the 7.20 times 10 to the 3rd by 1,000. And that's where we get the 7.20 kilowatts. Hope that helps. Reach out if you've got questions.